Do you know that phrase, those that can do and those that can't do teach? Rude, isn't it? And really inaccurate. There are good musicians who make great teachers, but it is not a given. My first mammoth is music is the only subject in this country routinely taught by non-qualified tutors. In the 90s, the head of music service in Leeds, Colin Jones, helped tutors get their PGC on the job. He was aware of this. The finances slumped, and those of us with QTS left the service, we were not replaced like for like. Right. Mammoth number 2, professional musicians who play an instrument up to celebrity status are the go-to people for the press and politicians to comment about music in schools. So, I was at the House of Commons meeting in which no school teachers were on the panel, a professional, and it was about music in schools, by the way, on the title of it. Lots of people had their own charities that operated out of schools, and this person who was a trumpeter, a professional trumpet player. Anyway, the professional musician on the panel said it was fair enough for new graduates to do a bit of teaching on the side as they developed their portfolios. From my lowly status on the floor, I advised it wasn't fair on the children. And bless him, he turned round and he said he was Walter Jacobs's mother. This is a big coincidence. My son's a sound engineer and he'd actually worked with this person when they were on tour doing this, one of the gigs, one of the groups they did. So, and then he whipped out his selfie in the House of Commons and took a selfie of us both, which you're not allowed to do. So he did actually take the point. So there is hope for us if we keep arguing. Right, mammoth number 3, PFI bills don't include appropriate accommodation or storage. No art, dance or drama rooms. Beautiful, spacious Victorian buildings like Royal Park School that Pauline put a picture up earlier, full of character, and cupboards were torn down and replaced with shiny toy town huts with roofs that weren't even nailed down fully. So, South Leeds School in Leeds, open a new building, roof falls off in the playground with children. It didn't hit anything fully. Mammoth number 4 is academisation. This is just privatisation, and it is in effect, I don't know if you know any detail about this. You're going to get some obviously, aren't you? They give the grounds and the buildings to private firms. They own them, they can do what they like with them. One school in Leeds, Bencombe Park, has just had public money from the council rebuild their school building, and the school's decided to become an academy. So all of that, millions of pounds spent on that one building, is going to be given to a load of CEOs. Right. Academy bosses are not publicly accountable. They run schools as businesses in which men and women in suits compete with each other for gongs with children as collateral. Right, mammoth number 5, and we have to get over this. We should not get too sanctimonious about parents and parental choice. As with children, choice is only choice if it's informed choice. Parents are being used, deferred to in word, but never in fact. And let's face it, we are amateurs. No one teaches us how to parent except our parents, who never stop interfering with our parenting, despite also being amateurs.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. It's like, oh, I've only got one. I'm fine. Governors are amateurs. I spent 19 years on 2 school governing bodies as a parent governor. That's 19 years I'll never get back, by the way. I had no idea what I was doing in the primary school, despite being high school trained, and I had no idea what the last head teacher was talking about in the high school. But in the end, those of us who voted against academisation got chucked off the governing body. So that was a waste of time. The last mammoth, and the sad thing is, we campaign all we like, let's get the arts properly back in schools, taking their equal place. There's not enough teachers anymore. If you've seen the statistics for the arts teachers, which, if you haven't, I haven't got them in my head anyway, we just run them out to the ground, all of them. I made a Latin phrase which said "Scio ergo docio," which I did Latin at school. Yep. But I'm not sure what this means anymore. I think it means I know, therefore I teach. I thought it would be better than cogito ergo sum, or whatever that other one is. Right. Ignore me, I'm getting a bit giddy.